shit. I feel wild, Rolly. I feel wild, mate. When you came on with that wine, when you came on and popped the cork, I thought, you know what? Let's just go. Listen.
I'm jealous.
Like a shit.
I'm jealous. Ray's drinking wine out of a jar.
I just wanted to congratulate Ryan on a great career.
You're gonna end it. You're gonna end it. Right. You are channeling a lot of trap action from Paul. I can see you're making some gains. I look very inadequate in the traps right now.
Paul looks friggin' ridiculous. Your traps. Have you literally just been working out and now?
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
I figured we're gonna come over and do like a little rehab blood flow. No, we're doing like max effort, failure time stuff.
Right, son. That's right, son. Get it.
Not got a lot of pain.
Yes, a ton. I was like, is this a good idea?
Michael's one of those idiots like Devin, and let's just rehab with 1,000 reps. It's like, yeah, all right, mate. Yeah.
Please,
Also, I come to the realization today that, with the heat outside, how does Michael live in like a climate like that with that beard? I mean, how do you do that? Because that'll make you hotter. I couldn't do that.
Neil, it was unbelievable. Like with the day we flew in here with that heat index of like 118 or whatever it was unbearable. I couldn't be outside. And I'm used to, in PA, we get heat, but we get heat with humidity at like 90, 95. Yeah. Not this 105 stuff. Unreal.
It's that the contrast between you, Rolly, and Ryan is unbelievable. Ryan's here with the hoodie on, multiple layers. You two look like you've just come out of a Chippendales gig. And I'm here, normally clothed, but sweating like a chip. This is not good weather for me, Rolly. You saw that when we were in Dubai. I don't do heat. I do cold. I'm part man, part large seabound.
I told Neil, let's walk somewhere. He's like,
no. What was it? The hottest day, like 48 or 49 or something?
Yeah, 48 Celsius.
I mean, yeah.
That's
you can have that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Fix. Show number 113. For anybody who was terrified that you wouldn't see Ryan again because he hate my ass, couldn't shake him. He's back again in the mother fluffing house, as is the White Oak from the Monster Factory, as is semi-pissed Rolly Ray, working on it.
How you doing, Ray? How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
I want to know something. I know that you coached Jordan Davis in the past. I was listening to one of your videos the other day. It sounded a lot like Jordan Davis is helping you. I think you sent in messages. I don't know. A few things you said just sounded like Jordan talking.
No.
Ryan, what did you do to Jordan? Are you pissing everybody in Australia off?
Yeah. F. Bowen.
Yeah. Bowen. It's like the origins of F. Bowen.
I don't feel like it's me against Ryan. It's world against Ryan at this point. I'm sorry, buddy. It kind of feels like that. It's ridiculous,
Yeah, look.
Ryan brings like the Australian continent into arm wrestling, the light of arm wrestling, and somehow he doesn't have to support Australia. What is going on, guys?
Oh, he has
so good. I can't wait. At
least three people.
I mean, let me tell you now, the anticipation for all the matches that have come up, right? Devin and Levan for yesterday's Monster Factory. I feel like they all pale into insignificance for the Rolly Ray versus Ryan match. It's just massive. It's got to be the biggest, most highly anticipated matchup. Certainly,
there were people in the chat yesterday, Neil, watching. We were all watching the Monster Factory. People in the chat were saying, which order is it? When's the Ryan and Ray match on?
In the chat. First of all, I can see where it's like I think of course Armbet's made a huge mistake, but dude, you have 0 baggers. So what the hell's going on?
Sure.
My shit sold out before yours. What do you want about that first block?
Yeah, I gotta go and check it out now. Go and check it out.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. I'll just remind everyone on my channel what I'm going to do.
Please remind them to lose their money. I don't want to take it. It's okay, guys. Stop betting.
No.
Money down on Bowen.
You're going to become the most hated man in arm wrestling because everybody bets on you is going to be like, Ray, what the hell, man? What was that?
And Ryan watched it. We just to make it. What the hell's that? Is that Bailey's?
No, it's just a coffee in a glass.
Oh, all right,
It's
Phil.
all good.
But I was going
Fancy, very fancy.
Yeah, I thought it was like 6 a.m. and he's hit the Bailey's early doors. But he's seen Rolly getting on it and thought, you know what?
Yeah, well, it's 11 p.m. here, so
yeah. Every night is Rolly night. So there's a bit of a contrasting theme going on here because Rolly's bigger. He's 92 kilos, and you're going the other way, aren't you, Ryan? You've been like doing the Rocky thing.
Are you 92, Ray?
Yeah.
You're 92.
Yeah. Well, I've been to movies 2 days in a row. I'm like 97% popcorn right now. I'm waking up in the morning and I'm 90.5.
Yeah, I jumped on the scales 10 minutes ago and I was 92.4.
Yeah, but for me it will not be any problem. I'll just
you should just don't challenge me to a running race anymore, Ray. I can fly now.
Yeah, you look. Hey, you look. I'm really happy you're running, but you look like that. You look like
I look like death. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like. I'm watching those videos, and you're like food.
You see how big my right arm is, though? Like they used to look closely balanced. Now it's like, what the hell? I genuinely look at it now, and I start to think, what the hell's going on? It's actually looking weird to me now. The balance.
Just hang on a minute. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Let's just have a quick comparison on the right arms here. Get the right arm out here, Ryan. Let's have a look.
Get the other camera out. So this is the one that Ray's not taken on.
Yeah, it's the one.
There's no pump. There's no preparation.
Yeah,
and then there's the one Ray is taking on. So.
Put them next to each other. There's a huge difference, like ridiculous difference.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you fiddler crab.
The one big claw.
Yeah, that is ridiculous, mate. There's a massive, massive difference. Yeah, Rolly, you're pretty balanced there. Let's have a look at you, Paul. There, go on.
Mine should
You're not a lefty, though, are you? Really?
Looking pretty different. A little bit off, maybe, but
pretty balanced. How is your left compared with your right, though, Paul?
It's probably comparatively strong. It's just not as coordinated.
Okay, fair enough.
It's me that
obviously, Rolly, I would have always said you were better left. To be honest,
I'm not.
In the past, I thought you were always more impressive left. Obviously, when you got hurt, it slowed you down a little bit, but you were definitely more impressive left in the, back in the day.
Yeah.
Instead of super chat.
I'm not made like crazy. I was looking at that video where you put us in a duet. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't looks like it's a filter and you're coming out, but I'm like, this is not filter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All real.
At some point, we will see Ryan just walking like this,
I am somewhat of a master of camera angles as well, so I'm doing my absolute best to make my left look like nothing and my right look like a giant. So.
Yeah, just dropping it back a couple of inches every time.
Yeah.
The shadows.
I don't know how you out angle an arm, your own arm.
Oh, yeah. It's easier. What's your
drop a shoulder blade? Bring another one forward.
For $7.99, you can join the master class from Bowen and learn the right amount.
Angling.
Like on that East versus West poster.
Yeah, that poster.
That's the kid.
What the hell? I look like I make Dave Chafee's.
It's like this. Everyone else is like this.
Yeah, everybody's normal. It's gone forward about 10 foot, hasn't it? Projecting his ace. That absolute quality. So Big Grove Goats has just come in with a super chat, and don't worry, mate, we will be getting onto this. He's put Neil, tell everyone about John Brzenk. I mean, we're gonna have to walk through that in sort of chronological order, I think, for the Monster Factory gig, particularly as we've got Paul on the show for a little while. Tonight won't be a very long episode of the Fix, guys. We're probably going to do just over an hour, I would imagine. Also, before we kick off, just special wishes out to John Thompson, who can't get on here because his dog's in a pretty serious condition at the emergency vet. Mate, hope your dog's okay. I really do. I've been through that. It's horrible when dog.
If it was a cat, he would have just let it go. We know he wouldn't have bothered taking the cat to the vet.
If it was a cat, Rolly would have held a minute's silence. Only a dog.
John would have just finished it off on the spot. Just give it one of them.
Yeah, you can't do that to it. I'll tell you what, right?
Hey, oh my God. People just love you. You're so kind. You're so easy to love, Ryan. Just like, we should just, I don't know.
Quite harsh.
Yeah. And then Ryan's sitting at home because like, why does everyone hate me? He's like bunnies and kitties and everything in between.
As people will notice, the fix has taken a life of its own, as it sometimes does. Please ignore the thumbnail. We're talking at the moment about Ryan and Rolly, and it's quite good stuff.
Oh, we're speaking
Dave,
specifically of Ryan killing kitties.
Okay, yeah, after we get over that, and all that on a show that used to specialize in showing you a degree of cats' arseholes in the first 30, 40 seconds. Paul's like, that is what happened for a while on here. I mean, we probably,
Definitely.
I don't think there's any show on YouTube that's had more cat's arsehole in every episode than we did.
Right?
That's a title. That's a title.
It's a pretty regular thing, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, a regular occurrence when he used to come on there. Believe it. But yeah, impressive stuff. But
I want to give big small shout out to Bob Brown. As much as I love seeing Bob lose, he did amazing yesterday.
Hey, it's another resurgent thing, isn't it? It's another resurgent thing. I mean, Bob's like, what is he, like 212 years old?
Older. He knew Jesus personally.
Yeah, I think he did. He laid the table at the Last Supper.
Most likely he poisoned him.
But joking aside, Bob Brown,
awesome,
on fire.
Yeah,
had a great day yesterday. He really did. How hot was it in there yesterday? While we're on the subject of heat as well, it looked friggin'.
It's climate controlled, but there was a lot of people in this garage here.
Yeah,
and
there was some weird things went down. There really was.
It's like a pole building, like it's a metal building, and it's a large space. But when you jam a bunch of people in there, it was definitely hot. I probably lost 10 pounds of water weight.
Yeah, you can frigging tell. You look absolutely shredded off your tits. Yeah,
my pee is
we were so close to winning. I was like, oh my God, it's coming. And then, BJ is good. He's good. He got you.
Yeah.
He's very, very big. Well,
a lot to learn from. I've never fouled out of a match in my life, and I fouled out of 3. And I've also never lost my wrist and felt like I could still win a match. So there's a lot for me to take away from there. But I've never been in that Todd Hutchings situation where I'm like, I think I can push through this. I was
just going to say, though, you did keep, it seemed like you kept a lot of back pressure on there as well at the same time. Were you really conscious of that?
Yeah, I felt comfortable. I rotated back because I knew it was going to go. It had already gone a match before. And I'm like, but I still have my side. But I've just never practiced that, never trained it, never been in a match situation. I usually keep my wrist flat, and if I lose, I lose.
Yeah.
So that was a new experience. And now it's a little bit of comfortability. I think I can be there. I don't want to be there, but I think I can still be there and maybe actually hang on to the peg and not be impatient. So Let's
start with your match, actually, Paul, in terms of sort of breaking it down. Obviously, you got off to quite a poor start, really. But by the second round, it looked like you were pretty much in cruise control. It looked like you found your lane. Not dissimilar to what we saw you with Ron Bath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, then it sort of went on its ass a little bit. You started to, did you just gas? Did you blow up?
Well, like they called this one very, like, it was strict refereeing in the setup stuff. So I picked up some fouls in the setup, just trying to get enough because BJ's lever is so good. I figured I was either going to lose 3-0, 3-0. He was going to roll me, and I couldn't bring him down, or I was going to bring him down 3 times and win 3-0. So being the fact that it kind of went back and forth, but I set myself up with some stupid fouls that put me on. It put me on that stress situation where, all right, now I've got to kind of give a little away. And as the match went on, he committed to levering up in the setup so much. And I was just trying to get enough to contain, get the strap on. Slipping was really hard against him, clamping my thumb, almost pulled it off. I was bleeding everywhere. Like he just relentlessly up and back pressure. And eventually by like round 3, round 4, I started to lose a little bit of that containment. And that's where I had to just kind of side pressure. So
you look small, mate, in terms of physicality. You're not a small guy at all. But what's BJ? He's like, what, 6'5", 6'4"? He's big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, like mid 300s. He's big.
Yeah.
I knew I had the lane, I talked to Craig Touye quite a bit. He's like, get inside, you're going to be fine. But the trick is getting. And BJ set up differently a couple times, so it wasn't where I could really jam. I had to come down, and I had to have just enough around him. And in some of the rest grip setups, it was really tough to get what I needed. with my finger length. So great learning experience for sure. But I mean, I had the match in a position where it was my match to lose. And I think just inexperience, I made some silly mistakes, impatience, which has been my Achilles heel over time. You know, just seeing the pin line and getting too impatient rather than, you know, waiting it out. But I felt really good about the ability to have my wrist back, still have finger containment and my pronator and be able to go sideways. So moving forward, I feel like I can add that to my toolbox if needed. I don't want to be there, but if I get there against somebody who's a committed top roller, I think I'll have another option.
Well, he paid some serious homage to your strength, didn't he? After the match, I mean, I thought he's a really good lad, BJ, and he was extremely humble in victory.
Such a great.
I want to say, I mean, you'll talk to him afterwards and so on, but I want to say that it's one of those difficult ones to win, isn't it? You know what I mean? When you don't pin the dude.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away, but I'm sure if that was me, and I'm sure he feels the same, it's one of those where it's a little bit of a hollow victory for you if you don't pin him. You don't want to, nobody wants to win on fouls, you know. I'm sure he doesn't. I really thought that, like, when I got the first one, when I sunk the first one in, I'm like, okay, I have his pronator. I'm going to be able to come back to it. He had great endurance. His hand was so solid, you know. It was like intimidating to slip against him.
Yeah. So like the dude, and he didn't gas out. His hand never gassed out. I mean, his arm, I had access there, but it never like dwindled away. Like that up and back pressure stayed like solid the whole match. And
did his bicep fail on that last round? Did his bicep actually? It looked like his bicep was failing, but there was so much side going in, and we were looking straight on, so you didn't really get a feel for the degree of side you were putting in there. Obviously, you were stretching him out as well. You had a lot of back pressure in there, and I wanted to know, did his bicep just fail, or did you bone line him to a degree?
I think his bicep stretched a little bit, and I think I had a lot of back pressure added without my wrist. Mm-hmm. But I think in hindsight, like Paul's in my corner, he was like, "Man, you just had to all you had to do was stay there. Your shoulder was on top and drive sideways a little bit more." And I think in hindsight, I was pulling back and I was trying to rotate where, in theory, where I was at, I could have just pushed.
Yeah.
But it's new territory for me. I gotta feel those things out.
Well, let's talk about real life trial, Paul. That's I mean, to do that against a guy who's so much bigger is so much more difficult, because you're giving away, and you said you felt that he wasn't fading, that his endurance was really good. All those things are going to be very, very there in your mind, very much at the forefront of your mind. So, hello, Paul. How you doing, Donny? All right?
Oh,
yeah, mate.
I'm seeing
I was just about to say to Paul Lynn, but now Paul Talbot's here. It's even better. I was going to say, Paul Lynn, you're going to be training the owl soon.
No.
Paul Talbot, man, you were a savage in that position. You had the commentators terrified. Rebecca was terrified, but man, both of you, well done. On a losing end, well done. The both of you guys are massive.
That was set the bar. you mate, that set the bar. You and Pavlo set the bar. That was a good match, mate. Very good match. And you have got a sticky point there. You've always been there. Say again, mate. A
little bit more riser and I'd have been all right. I'd have at least been in there a little better, in a better position. But I mean, it is what it is, right?
Again, we couldn't see how far off center. Were you bone lined again there? Were you sort of kicked out from your shoulder a lot?
I was fully extended, 100% shoulder committed. Worst position I could have ever been in my whole life. But
how's your arm?
It's
in your match. I thought that you're gonna at one point I thought you might break it. I was like,
I felt good. I felt good. Like I said, I don't ever do that left-handed. I don't ever have to do it. I didn't know that I could do it. So when I got there, I'm like, oh shit, like this ain't good. But it actually felt fairly good. I mean,
well, right-handed, you're really good at that. Yeah. I mean, right-handed, we've seen you do it a lot, Well,
right.
Were you very conscious of that? Were you sort of walking yourself through the steps?
Yeah. Right hand, I'm confident, and I've done it the whole time I've arm wrestled right-handed. It's just a spot that I get put in. But left-handed, like I never have to go into that position. And if I'm in the losing position, I'm either like hooked or like fully top rolled, and I never have a chance to wedge in there like that. So I didn't know I could do it, but obviously it's just as good right or left as it is right. You know what I mean? So
we're all about discovery on this show, Paul. We are all about discovery, mate. I mean, recently when he came over to Arm Wars, Ray actually discovered that there is such a thing as a top roll, and then I mean, who'd have thought? And then started to embrace it. He had one match with Craig Sanders. Next thing you know, he's a top roller. It's like,
hey, some would say I'm a top roll king now.
Yeah, hey, you know what I'm saying? Could happen. So, Paul, I feel like you're a really honest guy, a very genuine bloke, and you're known for that. So let's not talk about any longer. Who's going to win, Rolly Ray or Ryan?
Oh man, I love to see the match. I can't even vote on this. Really, I can't just throw out a name because I mean, stylistically, it could end up either way, right? I mean, whoever gets the best angle in the best lane, but like, I mean, they're both killing it. So now Ray can top roll. Watch out. Like, I don't like now it changes the game completely. Brian, can you handle that now that he can top roll?
Man, a top roll from someone as short as Ray, super easy to contain. Super easy. He's like 5'1" or something. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you that I've been top rolled by short dudes, and it sucks just as bad as a tall guy.
Hey, you're not as great as Ryan Bowen, okay? Shut up.
The thing is, it's that weird factor. It's okay being, it's like a bear on a unicycle. It's just weird. It's just like, holy shit, that bear's on a unicycle. You can't get your head around it. When I saw it up close and personal, I was like, is that really Ray? Is that a top roll of sorts? And then by round 3, it was like Giannis Amlins was coming up and going, like, mind blown. What's this all about? So I like that we've discovered so much. Paul got his Toddzilla down. He's going to be moving on to the Owl real soon. And, yeah. So coming around. Let's knock over a couple of super chats real quick before we move them. First of all, we've got Uncle John, who came in with a super chat. He's put, thanks, lads. Dog will be okay, hopefully. Ryan is right about the cats, but I'm still cheering for Ray. Okay, so he's nailed his colours to the mast. Let's have a look what else we got in here. We have got Sasquatch with the super chat. Thanks, mate. But Paul, this is for you, Mr. Paul then. Paul, you won by man-to-man rules. If it weren't for the Don in the booth, awesome match. So he basically thinks that you got stitched over by Mr. Underwood there with a little bit of commentator skill. Woody's not there, is he?
No, he's
I was going to say we could have a lot of fun with that one, mate. I tell you.
That was like he didn't touch the bag. He left the bag out. His hand wasn't touching it.
I'm like, can we next event? Can we put the comment booth like way up there so we don't have to hear it?
Yeah, it did kind of suck him being like right there. You heard everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no way to sort of, there's nothing sneaky going off there in it. Notice how myself and Ray, professionals, we got ourselves so far away from like Lavan and Devon. Just that way, if it did go off, we were commentating we at least could get out the door quick. Well, Ray could. I can't run for shit.
Also, nor Devon nor Levin could speak English. So
no, that's true. That is true. Yeah, they're way too far gone. Jared Theriault with a super chat. Thanks for that, mate. He's got big fan, guys. Let's go, Ray. Was not expecting Michael to pull the 3-1. I really thought Todd Hutchins was going to pull it off. The Monster 10.5 has arrived. We're going to get into that as well in quite a bit of detail. Because let's get to it in a minute. Cloaks93 with a super chat. Paul Tolbert, you going to pull Merlot? Anything on your horizon? Have you ever pulled him?
No, I'm not. I have never pulled him, and I'm looking to go up, right? So okay. I got goals, I got expectations. I want to be the best pound for pound arm wrestler, left-handed in this country, or however you want to put it. Like, come out of this country. That is my goal, and it doesn't really make sense for me to go backwards when I'm trying to accomplish much more right now. So I will take that match. Mm-hmm. As long as he beats Rockers first. I mean, he's like 4th right now. So if he wants a match with me, I'm okay with it. If it makes sense and somebody's willing to pay for it, fine. But in order for him to get that match for me, just being honest, he's going to have to beat Rockers first.
So
yeah.
Speaking as Paul Talbot's a promotional manager moving forward because he refuses to do any social media at all. We talked about it and like, where does Paul want to go? And I think somehow the world has allowed him to fly under the radar, and all those left-handed WAL hammers that he won at 165 and 95 and all the other stuff done, people have quickly forgotten as WAL has transitioned. But let's be serious, the guy is, arguably the pound for pound best left-handed arm wrestler on this continent. So, and
him and Thresh needs to have a match. That's the match to make. If you want that pound for pound title, you have to beat Thresh. You know that.
Yep, I know it. But he also wants like a ridiculous amount of money just to arm wrestle anybody. So it's probably not going to happen.
So he's looking, Paul's looking to aim at those 220s and those 242s moving forward.
And I love what you've done, Paul, because I've known you've been a left-hand monster forever, but I've also seen that you've been a kind of a quiet social media guy. I don't know where I saw it, but it was the month ago or whatever, when I saw you declare that you wanted to be the pound for pound best left. I thought, there we go. That's freaking cool. And now there's all of a sudden that, to me, like I feel from the promotional side of things, like there's a reason to be excited about the story of Paul Talbot. Like he's got a cool mission that he's on, and hell yeah, I can't wait to see if you actually pull it off officially in that. So I take my hat off to you, man, for doing that. I think that's an awesome evolution.
Right. Thanks, boy. I appreciate it. And it's not that I want to be 185 pounds, 187 pounds and be able to beat everybody in this country. That's not what I'm going for, right? I'm going for being legitimately the pound for pound best arm wrestler in this country. So whatever it takes, whoever wants to crown me, I don't know however long it's going to take, however long, like whoever I have to beat, and that's what I'm going for. So, yeah, Varese would be a good match, and that's a true test. But that again,
also, he's international, really, isn't he? I mean, Brett,
yeah.
If you're from what are you meaning North American born? You're meaning a North American puller,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't actually have to beat him or even have that match to accomplish what I'm going for. Like it'll be great, and I'll give it my best. And he might beat me, I might beat him. I don't know, but I don't need that match to accomplish what I want.
Yeah, just you all right, right?
Yeah, I just did I say on when we were live what I'm celebrating?
No,
this is for Ryan's career. He had a great run. he done amazing things, and he'll be much better at commenting on stuff. You'll
need one of those bottles to loosen up before the match, man, or maybe after the match, just to drown in the sorrows a bit. You're gonna struggle. It's gonna be bad, right?
He's a savage.
So short, I cannot drown.
If you are drinking wine from the bottle, you are a savage. I love it.
Immoral. That's illegal in most countries. You can't do that. It's just.
I'm
right. If you shave your head. Properly shave your head.
Why would I do that? Why would I look at this?
All of a sudden, it's an even bet if you shave your head.
You don't shave your head, Ray.
If you wear a tank top, it's not an even bet.
Well, we all get stronger then. It just gets too easy then. But now we're going shirtless, aren't we, Ray?
Yes, we
do. Oh no, don't do that! Jesus Christ, I want people to watch.
Yeah.
I'll do a little. If you guys are shirtless, you gotta get back down to that forest picture,
mate. If you're in Forest, Nick, you can go shirtless. What kind of are you in? Are you in good condition at the moment, then, Ryan? Have you been? Has the running been put in?
No. I'm not in shirtless condition.
Ryan, it's two t-shirts in a pool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I kidding.
Hey, wait a minute. Paul,
it's true. Paul,
we need your prediction on this as well. I know we're weeks out. Well, you haven't even given us a prediction on this one.
I mean, Ray always supports me. So I gotta support Ray.
I love how you did that.
We're like that,
That's right.
Oh shit, Ryan.
I nothing but love to Paul and Paul.
This is exactly where I wanted it to go. I expected it to go. It's all good, Neil. It's all good.
Tell you what, I feel bad for you, mate. Now, let's knock over some.
I feel like at one point like the lights in Ryan's room will get darker. He'll just sit with the little.
It's just not fair. I'll back you, Ryan. I'll vote for your son. I don't think
the smart money. I mean, it's a shutout stake for a reason. As much as Ray will convince his fans that he's certainly going to get one, it's a shutout stake for a reason.
Oh,
what do you think it's going to be? Will he get that first one, Ryan? The first pin?
Well, we're typically both slow starters in super matches if we look at historical data. So that kind of cancels each other out. So it's just going to be who's the stronger man. And Ray thinks he can hold on to my top roll and force it in. I'm telling him I'm not even going to need the top roll. I'm just going to go straight sideways. And he's not even going to get center. It's just going to look bad.
I know everybody was going down when we were looking at Levan and Devon. Everybody's saying like, oh, how long is it going to be till we see the Kings move? At what point are you going to pull out the owl?
The owl.
When will we get a look at the owl?
Well, look. I might go into that position. I'm certainly happy supinated and sideways. That's no worries.
What, straight off the bat, like 3 minutes in, and we're at a Bird of Prey show? It's like,
hey, we need.
Well,
for me to
Ray
happy supinated.
would have to take my wrist. Ray would have to take my wrist for that to happen. So it's highly unlikely that goes there. But we'll go into a hook. No worries. That's fine.
Oh, mate, if you do that, honestly, it would be unbelievable. If you went flying straight in, it's like, get the dead mice, motherfucker's got owl. And you just like, if you went in there,
if you set up like this and just
straight away.
Well, look, don't think it's too far fetched. That's a real option I've got. Like,
I would absolutely love that.
If you do that, I would love it. Please
mate,
do that.
the t-shirt line would be up. Paul Lynn will come on in with a tank top and it'll be like, woohoo!
Yes.
100% week after, we'll all have it on. It'd be amazing.
Like I said, you're actually a lot closer to the actual plan than you realize. I'm coming straight at Ray. I'm not going over or around. I'm coming straight at him.
Absolute class. This is great. Let's knock over some of these super chats that are backing up on us, and then we'll move on with the review of the Monster Factory. So Marcus Thompson in the mother fluffing house. How you doing, mate? He's put, wow, show 113 it is. 113. We've been on here for so long. Paul Lynn, very unlucky. You were in winning positions most of the times. The weight difference was massive, though. Yeah, really. What you could really see that. And I obviously, you're not a small man, mate. He's put, great free event for the Monster family. Oh, and I hate cats. Sorry, Ray.
No luck there, Marcus. That was my errors that I'm going to learn from. No luck involved, though.
All good stuff. Ryan's exposed cable with a super chat. But careful, Ryan. Ray is looking pretty fat. Can't believe Michael claims he thinks he can beat Levan after dropping around to Todd. Delusional Michael Todd.
Ray looks phenomenal in a room by himself. As soon as you put Ray in a photo with someone else, you go, oh okay. Ray's not what I thought he was. Like, we all, it's true, Ray. It's true. You know it's true. We all look at you and think, shit, you're looking massive. But then you stand next to anyone else and everyone goes, oh, wow, Ray's a midget.
You look tiny next to Derek. Tiny.
It's not fair, is it?
Yeah, he's talking with you, Ryan. You would look tiny next to Derek.
Oh, we all look tiny next to Derek. We all look tiny.
Also Levin. Also Devon. Also Alex. Those are my friends.
To be fair, if we're looking at perspectives, it was a pretty bad showing, wasn't it? If you were looking to like embellish your height, you wouldn't go out and stand next to that lot. The average, I think the shortest guy in the room was 6'3". It's like,
I remember when they're doing the face-offs, and I was like, I don't want to be anywhere near the face-offs.
I ain't getting up there for that one. So Lance Lens
pointing in your face.
Lance Lens with a super chat. He's put, great show. What's everyone's opinion on Michael Todd eventually going against Levan and stopping him? Mike's actually there. We saw him literally a few minutes ago. Is he in earshot, mate?
He's taking a nap. He's taking a nap.
What is
We're
wrong
going to
with
finish the show and head out, so we probably won't talk to him. We did have some off-camera discussions about the potential of that match. And he doesn't, at this point, he's got other matches that he's got to line up, and he's got decisions he has to make. I don't know if I don't think he's necessarily even considering that at this point. There's other matches he wants to line up. So is it something that could potentially happen? Could he get a stop? You know, who knows? We may never know, or we may find out. But I don't think anyone's anywhere near discussing that match as an option yet.
No, when I discussed it with Michael, to be fair, obviously cut the guy some slack. He'd just come off a big win yesterday. He was pumped. He was buzzing. You know, you say things. He at the moment, he's feeling good. Give him a break there, guys. I've spoken to Michael recently, very recently, only a couple of weeks ago, just after the Devon match with Levan, and he wasn't chasing down Levan. Paid massive respect to Levan. Very appreciative of where Levan's at. And that's all I can say. The guy is very aware. Mike's very aware of Levan Saganashvili and where he's at. And how can he not be? I mean, he's super, super impressive, isn't he? But, you know, I don't want him to do it personally anyway. I don't want him to go big again like these, you know. Why the hell? And you wouldn't need to. You got to get you. I know there's a thing where.
Come on, guys. With all due respect, he just won Todd Hutchings, and now we shouldn't be having this discussion.
No,
you should be on that talk. You know, with all due respect, you have to be on that talk. You know, and you just beat a guy, and come on, why? You know, is it a match? If someone says and they put money down, yeah, I would love to see that. I don't care.
Where did drunk Ray go? Why did serious Ray come out?
I wanted to write down chat F Bowen, but can't find it.
That's not very professional, Ray. I expect to be better from you. I really would. So here we go. Fish Slip with a super chat. Thanks for this one, mate. He's put, why does Bowen look like Gaylord from Meet the Fockers? I mean, is that even a thing? I can't even comment on that.
I don't see resemblance.
I can't comment on that.
That's a great movie. That's a really funny.
So Thomas Quevedo with a super chat. Let's put it short. Do you think Ray defeats Mosier? So a little bit of an underhanded slap at you there, Ray. I think he's saying, well, you have pulled him. I beat him.
Left
in Arm Wars, but it was.
Beat him. The question was, could I beat him? I beat him.
You did.
Yeah, but with Wright, stylistically, for me, I have to really work on some stuff to, you know, to catch that hit, especially with the top roll. He's a weird one, you know.
Yeah, you never know. Styles make matches, but to be fair, got some impressive wins under his belt on that run, Ryan. Obviously,
funny how Ryan was counting that as his super match win when it wasn't a super match, when it was a part of team tournament. It was kind of funny, wasn't it?
Match. The definition of a super match is just multiple rounds. That's all it is.
Really? Oh my god, I won like three.
Any way you paint it, put the names of the people you've beaten and the names of the people I've beaten. I think my list looks better.
Your list cannot look better because most of them accomplished things after you beat them, not before. Chance Shaw after you beat him, not before. Mosier did great in Slotty Tour and just ripped everyone apart after you beat him, not before.
What about Ryan Scott? Tell me about Ryan Scott.
Who is that?
Exactly. Oh, hey, that's fine. That's fine. Ryan Scott just he pinned Ron Barth in his opening round of his super match.
Awesome. He's pretty damn strong. I you know, there's no doubt about it. But just, you know what, like I beat Vlad and I beat Sanders like in 2015. I'm not saying I can beat them because there was different time, different arm wrestlers.
What is your best win? What is your best win? Is it Adam?
I don't know. Well, Craig Sanders has been multiple times on WAF.
Craig's good.
Cheeky bastard, Ray. You should have said me in Dubai, you prick.
Also,
man, Neil, you were toying with Ray. We could see what was going on there.
I broke my wrist. Full on broke. Did my wrist break, Ray? Broke my wrist. Couldn't move my wrist afterwards. I had to have a stump, man, for my own piss. Seriously, I couldn't. That's his fault. That's what he did. Went in. I wasn't even supposed to be arm wrestling. So when he came up like that, I said, "Come on, fatty, let's go."
You know, it's just funny, you know, that people. This is the biggest super match of my life. I think this is the biggest super match of your life. I'm pretty damn sure I'm way more titled.
In some respects, yeah, for sure it is. It
Also,
definitely is in terms of.
I'm gonna give you something. I think I'm like right now. I think I'm pretty damn good. I'm really close. If you beat me, you're really strong. Like,
do your viewership know that Giannis picked me to win? Before a week before this match was announced, when we didn't know it was a thing, and he spoke honestly.
Yeah.
Did they know that?
Ask Giannis now.
Of course, Giannis he's doing everything he's gonna do. Tell you everything you need to hear now that it's a match to give you that confidence.
None of my guys.
A week before this was a match. He I'll send you. It was on the fix even.
I agree. Hey, absolutely. You should ask him now.
Has he changed his opinion now? As he said, I'll tell you what, Ray, before I thought you were shit. But since I saw you smack the piss out of Neil in Dubai, you got this. You got this. No problem. What he said.
28 days. That's all it is. We don't have to wait long. 28
He's
days.
not having it now, is he? He's absolutely not. Honestly, Ray, when you go down the gym, nothing will make me believe that Sandris Sheris does not rip the piss out of you at every chance he gets. I just don't believe that happens. Does he not make it like he'll underplay what you can achieve? Surely. That's the guy he seems to me. Sandris will take the piss out of you more than he'll big you up, won't he?
Yeah.
And what does he say? Does he think you're going to smack Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Legit. Oh, he thinks, yeah, Sanders definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because this is a two-man gig. This is Latvia versus Australia, isn't it? Because you've got super fast Lachlan Adair against the chef.
That's a good one too.
Absolutely awesome. Wait till it turns into Intercontinental number 2 and you've got Paul Lynn again. Hey, what about that? Paul Lynn, Lachlan Adair. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, Paul's looking like he's a stud at the moment.
Would you be up for that, Paul?
Sure.
There you
Sure.
go.
We had it scheduled a while back. Wound up having an elbow injury and had to pull out.
Now,
yeah,
that could be very interesting. It's just unfortunate that Ryan's left arm is not his good arm. You could have tied it up potentially with the.
I want to read this comment. What was the weight difference between Ray and Neil? Probably as much as Corey versus John.
No, a bit more. I think dry. It was humid over there, but I was probably 745 pounds. I had some water weight on me from the flight over, so I was a heavy me. I was definitely pushing 700 pounds on the day that match took place. And you were like, what did you weigh, Ray? About 80 kilos?
Maybe. It was fun. But like all honesty, without pointing and picking at any, I think I'm gonna come in great shape. If you beat me, you're really fucking strong. Like this is not anything because what I have felt in the past, past months preparing for this, I'm really, really good. Like really good. So if you beat me,
yeah, and look, I'd expect nothing less. I respect you as an arm wrestler without any doubt. I'm still gonna kick your ass, but I respect you. Like I actually think the match could be really cool, not for the hype reason, but for the reason that the shape could be really, really interesting. It could go friggin' so many different ways. Technical is something that is a word you use to describe both of us, and yeah.
I mean, I would pick a different word. I don't know about Paul. We'll have a bit of a whip round. Paul, if you were going to think of a single word to describe Rolly and Ryan, what would that word be?
Together?
Well, yeah. You can pick separately, or it can be, if you have to group one word, what would it be? Because I'm going to go with wanker.
No.
You talk like you like I didn't broke your wrist.
You broke my wrist, mate.
All the shit off from a guy I broke his, I broke
the mic. That wanker. That's what that's about. And rumor has it he's less of a wanker than Ryan. So I mean, you know what I mean? Fucking hell. Well, you're a nicer guy than me, Paul. So what word are you going to go with?
I don't know, but you let off a wanker, and I feel like I need to follow suit.
I think you do. I think you do because it's a good
I
word.
didn't know where we were going.
You know,
We can settle on that. We can settle on the wanker match, whatever.
yeah. Ultimate
wank
wanker.
special.
Yeah.
Or the top wank.
Do it now. Set it
One
up.
only wank.
Yeah.
One wank to rule them all.
Yeah. Only one can be the ultimate wanker. Yeah, he's the world's champion wanker, renowned throughout the land. Every fucking.
I'm always looking for
time.
title. I'm a titles guy. I'm not a trophy guy. I prefer titles. I want number one ginger. If I get number one wanker, whatever. That's all right.
Better be number one wanker than number two wanker. That's all I can say. So Darko with a super chat. Here we go. Ray, will you have a great career ahead after Ryan beats you? How can you miss on that opportunity?
You will have a great career.
That's from Darko.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
He's nuts as well with a super chat. Nothing on it, but thanks for that. So let's have a look. Michael Todd's calcified bone. Is Bowen actually on something? It's either he's lying, bad genes, talking bunk farmer, or his androgen receptors are all in the bones because that's the only thing growing based on his measurements. What have you done to these people, Ryan?
All of the above.
Absolute
Oh, love it. You'll have to PM me privately for that one if you want to know the story.
So let's get on to what we were supposed to be. I'm loving you two leathering each other, but there's plenty of time for that later on. Let's get back on to the topic from tonight's show and what we should be talking about here on the Monster Factory. So I feel like, first of all, let's go with Michael and Toddzilla. Now, one of the comments last night that I remember that was picked up from the commentary team was that everybody had Toddzilla picked. Now, I didn't, but I wanted to go around and just check, am I the only one that didn't? And I'm not just saying that, I didn't. I saw Michael as a really, really bad opponent stylistically for Toddzilla. Am I in the minority there, or who did you guys have?
Mike.
You had Todd, Ryan.
I had Toddzilla, yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Classic
Paul?
Ryan Bowen. Knows his shit.
We both had Mike.
Go to Ryan Bowen YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Or you're
So, were you sort of were you surprised at all by how the match went down, or did it go pretty much how you saw it in your mind? Because that was pretty much to script in my mind.
Yep, it was almost what you expect. The first round, Michael kind of lost due to a little bit of impatience. He could have sat where he was at for a long time, and he tried to transition too early, and he did get pinned, knuckle under the pin line. But I don't think it took anything away from him. And I thought how he adjusted then and moved into the shoulder roll, back into the open top roll. He gained a little bit of confidence, loosened the strap up, and it was done from there. I saw it as Michael's most recent losses we saw through flop wrist press, center of the table, or movement towards Michael's side. And I've never seen Todd truly flop wrist with his shoulder behind. You see him pull without his hand, still with his perimeter intact, hard side pressure, but that doesn't get it done against the Kingsman. So I was coming in thinking that if Todd can win this, it's huge, huge, huge.
Yeah, I got to absolutely 100% agree. Nothing against Toddzilla, because Todd is, I can't take my hat off far enough. I think pound for pound, the strongest arm wrestler in the world. I really do. I think he's unbelievably strong. I just think stylistically, Mike is a horrific matchup for him.
Yep.
In so many ways. If it was a guy that had a really, really solid joined up press, I would give him a lot more of an opportunity. But the fact that he applies so much back pressure with that side every time he rolls, I just think it really lends itself to Mike's strongest suit. And the fact that Mike can transition so quickly, horrific for him. Absolutely horrific. But it was nice to see the match go down, because a lot of people have talked about it for a long time. And I've had a lot of experience talking to people about that match for a lot of years. So to see it actually go down when Todd, actually, I'm going to say both these things, when Todd is in a really rich vein of form, and when Mike has been on a bit of a slide, actually. You know, he really has, because I think right now, in a way, Toddzilla's kind of untouchable. I mean, he's always the guy that's pulling the bigger man. You know what I mean? He's always that guy. Whereas Mike needed, he didn't need that win, but he kind of needed that win. You know, just for his own self-confidence and to elevate him back into people's minds. Okay, yeah, this guy's really frigging good, you know. So I think that will, and I don't think it detracts from Toddzilla. Certainly not in my mind. It doesn't detract from Toddzilla one bit. The man is a beast, you know. So, yeah, Ray, did you see that go? I know you just walked out when we were talking about it stylistically before, but did you see that going exactly as it went, or did you see it differently?
I was, you know. They had a practice, and when you stack them up, like you said, it's the most terrible matchup for Todd.
Yeah,
Hutchings, because he stays out of his shoulder. So to beat Mike, you kind of need this. You need to be here. You know, if you're here, it's very hard. You need to apply a lot of side pressure. But he still beat him one round, and then Todd always talks about not training your biceps. Those biceps would come in really handy in this match, because you know the way to beat, like, you know, good presser is to catch them on the bicep. You know, that wasn't me. It was clearly Paul, one of the Pauls.
No, I'm denying all knowledge of that.
Yeah, but I think I saw that match exactly like that. I was like, if Todd Hutchings would pull it off, that would be so awesome, because you know. But Mike needed that win, and Mike is stylistically bad, and Mike performed really, really well, like really, really well.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
I wanted to see more of whatever, but.
Do you think we're going to be looking at? And we're going to move on to the big match in a minute. But do you think we're going to end up seeing Monster Michael Todd and John there?
I think so.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be asking for that.
John, Todd, John, and Mike.
Yeah, it's got to happen, doesn't it?
John, it's
got to happen. After that big clash that they had in the UAL all those years back, I can't even remember what year that was, but it's going back a long, long time. I think maybe 2014 or something. That kind of time scale, long time ago. But yeah, I'd love to see that match again, and I do feel like it could happen. And in some ways, it'd be a good time for it to happen if both men were up for that, because John. Without jumping the goal, John's looking ridiculous at the moment. So we got a super chat from Charlie Chim, great name as well. What does the panel think of excuses following a loss? Not everyone shows up 100%, super confident leading up to the match. Then excuses with the loss, like Marcio. I don't know. I think Marcio definitely damaged something over in Dubai. I mean,
clearly.
You saw the confidence drain out of the guy after the first round very, very clearly, and he looked like he was chasing the match, which for a guy with his experience and obvious versatility, it leads you down a path of breadcrumbs that aren't too hard to follow. If he's not trying everything, there's something wrong. And I think we alluded to it on the commentary that he looked like he was chasing the match. He looked like he was monotechnical, and he doesn't really stack up for him because he's anything but that. I think a lot of people had him picked because of the fact that he's so well-rounded. I had him picked based upon that pretty much. And the fact that he was having to chase into the one area where Irakli's rock strong, and I'm not taking anything away from Irakli. I thought he was magnificent on the night. I thought he was great. Really, really looked solid. But if it's specifically Marcio, I think the excuses thing with all alpha male sports, you're going to see a few of them, because some of it, you're trying to do your own confidence a world of good. It's not sort of outward excuses, I think, as much as inward. You're trying to do any of you lads suffer from that? Do you make excuses in your own heads?
I don't know, Ray, how you going with yours? You got a few lined up yet?
I take it on chin. I don't care. If I lose, it's only my problem. I lost, no one else's.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's crazy, Neil. Excuses. That makes it well with any.
This is for Ryan. I could beat him, but I still lost.
Yeah. What? Oh, look! Every single don't get it confused. The difference between coming an excuse for why you lost versus look, yeah, I felt the lane of where I'd like to go in the future is a very different statement, and every single athlete goes away from every moment in sport feeling, all right, this is what I need to improve. Todd Hutchins, for instance, no doubt has gone away from that match thinking, yep, look, if I had another crack, these are the strengths that I'd like to change, or these are the executions. Same Paul Lynn talked about it earlier tonight. You feel things and you take the loss and you go, yeah, the better man won on the day. Well done. You shake their hand, too good. But no, excuses, you should always lose with zero excuses. Every time you put your elbow on the table, regardless of whether you're bringing pain to the table, doesn't matter. You don't talk about it. You just, yeah, it is. You're as good as you can be on the day every time. And yeah, there's no excuses ever.
If you have an excuse that's that viable, it should be
arm wrestling.
That should be prior to the match.
Shouldn't be pulling.
Out.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when you put your elbow down. And the other thing is, if you allow yourself an excuse before the match, you're diminishing your
You're killing yourself.
And the worst part is seeing the excuses come out after a loss when there was none preemptive before, vocalized or anything. Not that you should be vocalizing them if you choose to arm wrestle, but it's a very slippery slope. Because I mean, realistically, have you ever been 100% when you arm wrestle? Ever?
No, since like
No.
Nobody cares about that.
Every time you put your elbow down, you probably have 50 excuses that you could go to. But
And even if you are 100%,
Get up.
you get phantom pains, don't you?
Get up.
And you know what? Before we get on to John and Corey, the guy who's probably got the most pressure on themselves would be John Brasink. And he's also maybe the guy who makes the fewest excuses. I mean, never does that guy usually get up there. You know, you don't get anything like that from John. I mean, last night he was the GOAT on so many levels once again, because
Doesn't seem like
so
he
humble.
cares though. Like,
No,
but he
shit. I think that's his armor, isn't it, Paul? I think that's one of his things, mate. Like you say, you just I think it's easy in arm wrestling, as in most combat sports, as in most strength sports, and probably any sport, it's easy to be your own worst enemy, coming in there and apply pressure on yourself that's much worse than anything that's coming in from outside. If you start to beat yourself mentally, then you're in trouble. And the reason that starts usually is because you're doubting yourself, you're insecure, and those insecurities grow and they manifest themselves in various ways, and you don't perform for whatever reason. I think one of John's biggest assets in this game is his ability to sort of just completely desensitize himself to that whole scenario, regardless of how good he is, regardless of the reputation. He just seems above it, doesn't he?
Yep, he does.
You know,
Yeah, he's unafraid of any match, match.
And
so before sorry, go Paul.
John's a GOAT, and I mean, he's loved by everybody, right? And he's not loved by everybody just because he won a lot of arm wrestling matches against a lot of bigger guys. He's loved by everybody because of how he wins, how he carries himself when he loses, and how he responds. To me, that's the enigma of John. That's the thing that you look at, all right, look at this arm wrestler. He's great. He's he's the best ever. He's the GOAT. And he also carries himself with class, self-respect, and dignity at all times. And you don't hear excuses. And to me, those two things are correlated.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's we just had a super chat in that disagrees with that entirely. Ryan's Exposed Cables put excuses: John versus Devon basement phone call, and two laughy faces. Awesome stuff. We get the best super chats on the show of all time. We really do. There's some classic stuff. So I think I missed another one up there. Let's have a look before we move on. And I do want to get into the Corey John match because I loved it. I thought it was absolute quality. Karaoke Vic. Don was talking a lot of smack. Became an armchair ref. The guy called the win for Corey before the match was over. Any comments on that from when you were in the building, Paul and Paul?
I was commentating on that too, and we were both confused.
We weren't paying attention.
We were
talking to each other about each other too much.
No, I want to talk about it. We got confused, and the fouls and everything lined up, and I thought it was over too. In round 4, I was like, "Holy, we just saw history." You know what I mean? And then I'm like, "Wait, there's a total confusion." Yeah. So I can take the blame for that too, because I might have distracted Don. But I thought his pin prior to that was the match. I thought it was it. And then we
yeah,
got
you
back.
could tell and I think Rebecca as well. I think everybody was all like, oh shit, you know, it was like, and then all of a sudden, no,
Oh no, we're doing it again.
we're still rolling. But fantastically exciting match, and that really swung back and forth, and it actually added to the tension, the fact that they did call it as over, and then it was like, oh no, we're still on, and it was like, oh yeah, here we go. Made it more dramatic for me. I thought it was absolute quality. So Michael Todd's Calcified Bones coming with a super chat. I'm about to beat LeBron with the latest 69 times 4.20 version of myself. Get ready. Oh, a little bit of a dig at Mr. Michael Todd right there. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mike last night was a little bit. He was happy, he was buzzing, and he was just doing what we all do in that kind of scenario, you know. Good on you, Mike. You had a good win yesterday, so it's something a lot of us couldn't have done, mate. So happy for you. It was nice to see you get a win. You've taken a few ass kickings of late, and it ain't a nice place to be. So, yeah, Mike served his time, and he definitely deserves a little bit of a win. And that is a big win against Toddzilla. That is no bum that he beat yesterday. So, not Levant level for sure, but a very, very solid arm wrestler. So good job on that one. Now let's talk about this a little bit, because when we were over in Dubai, Ray, I think you had conversations with Corey. I did as well. We'd been speaking to Paul, who's had a lot of experience with Corey leading up to that. You had Corey picked in the match against Kadetcha. Such was your belief in how strong this dude is. And when we were speaking to Corey on the way over, just prior to the match, he said, look, my biggest aspiration here is if I come out and pull to the best of my ability, and the people worldwide get to see that I'm there, I'm at that level. I feel like he 100% achieved that when we were in Dubai. I know he got injured and the match didn't go the distance, but he'd done enough. I don't think there was any further requirement for that. When you've got someone like Alex Kadetcha hanging off your fingers and unable to finish you off, can't pin you, that says a great deal about the level you're at, because that is a very, very big, very, very powerful lad. Last night, further evidence, because when you can make John Brasink scratch like that, I mean, every fiber of the man's being was on that. He was shaking like a shitting dog. It was great to watch, wasn't it? Absolute class. So, again, further endorsement of the fact that Corey West is for real. Guy has some serious poke, you know? And
2 weeks after his match with Kadetcha, where he had his wrist busted back, we see John try and top roll him, and he just contains it.
Yeah.
And that's 2 weeks after getting his, you know?
Oh, yeah, he was tweaked up pretty good. And I was worried whether that would affect him. Obviously, Corey said that it didn't. It's great to see that from Corey. He was sort of like, nah, didn't bother me. Everything was intact. Even if it did, he didn't say it did, you know. Yeah. But
your example of a built-in excuse that you could go to.
There you go. It was all there for him, you know. Yeah, I was damaged, I was torn up, and he may have had some that he didn't know about. You don't know what that's done to you, but he didn't go down that track. And for me, he did again enough in that match to demonstrate it, you know. Now, the funny thing, I'm going to make a confession. I had John picked to win based on the fact that I thought Corey was bust up. That was why I went that route. I actually spoke to some guys prior to the match last night. We were at the Giants Live gig, and this was kind of cool because these people came over. They were in the crowd at Giants Live, and they said, "Oh, Neil, who have you got, John or Corey?" And I said, "You know what? I'm going with John. 2 reasons. I think that John's versatility and his ability to sort of transition between moves. He knows that Corey's got the vulnerability on the inside, and he can pretty much hook anyone. Ironically, he was running most of the time, which was quite interesting, you know. So he felt something he didn't want there, but was able to transition in. And I said, and when he gets inside, I think that because Corey was tweaked up by Alex, he'll probably start to feel it. He'll feel the effects, and John will wear him down and beat him. And ironically, he apparently did it without any damage. So does that tell you about John Brasink?
Beating Corey on that first round in a hook straight away, just
unbelievable.
I was like, what? I was like, this is over. And then Corey comes back. And then Corey taking his pronator. I was like, what? What's going on? And then it's Paul Lynn doing commentary. He's like, yeah, well, John has this amazing pronator. And Corey is just like,
it up.
It was awesome.
Amazing. It was amazing.
I did like a video afterwards of like 5 a.m., 4:20, something like that. I was just smiling because it was so incredible. Such a great moment in arm wrestling. Corey is awesome. I think he has a bright future. I think he is the future of North American arm wrestling for sure.
Well,
John,
look at that from John last night. He said, this guy will go on to be a guy that could be a real threat to Levan. He felt like he was unbelievably strong. He said his hand and wrist are phenomenal. You know, so
like, well, imagine the story. Like, I made a video before John came out of his retirement, and it was like a great video, and I loved it. You know, the whole story and everything. Yeah, and the story continues, and it's like ridiculously good. It's like, you know, you can't make this shit up. It's like that. It's I don't know.
What makes it a little sad is that you always get the feeling that he's going to stop, though. Do you not feel that? Do you always get? I don't know whether he seemed the least excited of anybody in the building. He did, didn't he? Everybody else is like
all the time. All the time. He pulled Zurab. He was sitting like alone, and I sat next to him. I'm like, how do you feel? He's like, I don't know. Maybe I overreacted on that round. You know, when they gave me that, you know, pin. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, is everyone afraid to ask you to do after pulling? He's like, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. He's like, maybe I should quit, or maybe not. I don't know. You know.
Always.
Yeah.
Always a breath away. Was he like that? Was he like that afterwards, Paul, or was he buzzing?
Did you notice how was John afterwards? I didn't pay much.
Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to him either. I mean, I know that he was gassed like big time, but there's so many people in here, and the crowd was going crazy and stuff. So I was kind of in the back. I didn't really see how he reacted. I mean, he was all smiles later on in the night, but like his initial reaction, I mean, I know he was tired when I seen him when he walked away, but like I don't. He doesn't seem to ever get too excited about anything, right?
No. I mean,
you're right, Neil.
Oh, sorry, Ryan, go, buddy.
That vibe, you always do get that vibe from John. He's always the first man to say, look, I've got nothing left or anything like that. He's very humble in that respect. But and we'd all hate for that to happen. But I think it'll stay. I think John will stay because the sport's grown enough that look, people are going to keep offering John a decent chunk of money to pull, and that works. And John's having fun in that respect. I think he'll stay. I think he's got it. I think we got him for a few years, I reckon.
I would love to get John in arm wars at some point, regardless of whether he arm wrestled anyone.
Yeah.
Don't have to arm wrestle anyone, actually. I'd like to just just put something together, just documenting the dude's career, because I feel like, I know obviously Pulling John was Pulling John, but it kind of finished on a sad note, and it kind of was a little bit of a, it was more around the, you can be gracious in defeat. And that almost like pissed me off that he was the subject of that, because he's so far from that. The guy's an absolute success story.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I think it'll happen multiple times. John's dominance in this sport, I think it's more dominant than any other athlete in any other sport in many respects. So it'll be picked up. The story will be told again, and it'll be done well, I'm sure. He's worthy of a full Netflix style movie that's done as good as it gets, with where his career's at. And so he's still writing it. So as Ray said, at 57 years old, it's crazy that he's still pulling off matches like
crazy. It's like ridiculously crazy. You think about it, you're like, it doesn't make any sense. And then it makes sense. And it's like, you see John, it's like, like this guy's 440 pounds, like 200 kilos.
Yeah. I mean, Corey is a true giant. He's a young man. He's on the rise. I feel like Corey was extremely respectful of John early on. I feel like in the first round, and again, this is just how I read it, I think you always have that with John. You've always got this like aura of respect washes over you. Like you can't avoid it. Just like, whoa, it's John.
I said it to Corey prior to the match on the phone a couple of weeks before. And then when we got here, like you have to desensitize yourself from this legend and just go arm wrestle another arm. Like as a kid, because he was being so respectful and you felt that like, and I was so worried for him that he's he's putting him on a pedestal, and you're gonna have that feeling that you can't do it. And he was giving off that energy. And even like in the commentary, his wife sent me a little clip where I'm sitting behind the booth and I'm looking at where like this. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. I don't feel it, like, you know. But then once the match got going, he turned up.
He did, and it's funny. I think you actually called it in the commentary. You said, like, you know, he needs to find a lane. And I don't know whether you were vocalizing it. You were saying that the commentary booth was really close, and you were vocalizing it like, he needs to find, you know, and he sat right there. But he definitely did step up, and he definitely did get on the front foot, and he got aggressive, and like you say, control John's pronator. That was cool as shit as well. When they were in there, and John was like posting back and trying to pronate out, and the whole body. You could see him shaking like that. Was ace. It was my favorite bit of the match.
It was a great match.
I predicted Corey, and I wanted Corey to win. Like, in my mind, I wanted Corey to win. And then when the match was like close and it's in the balance, that thing inside of me was like, I don't want John to lose. You know what I mean?
You don't be ever. You can't. It's like,
can this end right now? It'll be 2-2.
Who made the right prediction?
Oh, what, on John and Corey? Yeah,
I picked John.
I did have that, but I was swayed because I thought
Corey get your shit together.
You were both Corey, were you? You both had Corey.
Corey did better than I thought. I thought it was going to be 3-1. I thought John was going to be after the first round. I thought, okay, it's going to go like I imagined, and then hang on a second, no, Corey's got it, and then it was like, wow, look at that. So Corey did better than I thought he was going to do. So it was awesome. But John just doing GOAT stuff was amazing to witness. Yeah,
it really was. On so many levels, that was a great match.
We got to drop. We got to hit the road and get to the airport, or we're gonna be in trouble.
All right, guys, just remember that.
I love my polls. I love my polls. Take care. I want to see both of you killing it. You did great yesterday, even though you get losses. I was rooting for you both. So.
It's that, mate. Listen, that yesterday.
Shut up, Neil.
A rematch waiting to happen.
Shut up, Neil.
Have it end on foul. Shut up.
I agree there.
Run it back.
Arm Wars 2023.
Run it back, Birmingham.
There we go. Look at Arm Wars, run it back. That was a good little combo between the two.
Arm Wars, run it back hard.
Hey, this could happen when you're both lit up like Blackpool at Arm Wars Iron House, Ryan. I'll tell you that right now.
Have you got some sort of death metal band that we don't know about, Ray, or what?
Yes.
You and Giannis.
So let's knock over some super chats. Juji Mugu, big fan of Ray. He's put, did Rowley buy that vest at a Gap Kids outlet? Where did that come from, son?
I'm pretty big if I'm not standing next to giants. Tell people.
So he's come back in, Juji Mugu again. He's put, Coach, turn your camera so we can see your cat pulling on the other side of that cable.
Bring him in.
Yeah. Mark Skrigera, top bloke. Mark Skrigera's ace. So this guy out in Dubai bought us a drink straight off the back of the match, but it couldn't have been wanted more. It was baking hot. Mark, how you doing, brother? He's put, good evening, gentlemen. In 10 years, if Corey is healthy, he will be a contender for world #1. He might be a bloody sight quicker than that. He's
10 years.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah.
He's super strong, Mark. Super strong and progressing. He's got this natural humility around him, Corey, that I think once he sort of not gets over that, because I think it'll always be a trait of his, but I do think Corey could achieve more when he really gets aggressive, if he really starts hunting match down and you know, getting a little bit dynamic in there. And that will come with confidence, and it will come with time. And I think he's going to beat a lot of men. I really, really do.
I'll say it again, and I sent him a message after the match. I said, like, good effort. Work on your strap game.
Yeah.
Corey needs to work on his strap game, because when you get strapped with Michael and Michael pronates hard, it's terrible feeling. So you just want to keep outside the strap, and that's where he developed the good containment.
Yeah.
He needs that strap game to be really, really good with everyone. So
he's got some.
I think it's a little bit, and he's in that top 10.
Oh, yeah. It's like John said, there's some areas there where he's showing, what's the right term? I'm tired as hell from Giants Live Classic last night. I'm absolutely knackered. My brain's not working. But what I'm trying to say is he showed like flashes of excellence, flashes of genius, if you will. There's small snippets of thing that he's doing really well, and then alongside it, there's a pretty significant hole. So you can see that he's still beatable at the moment in certain areas, and you could see him taking losses that you wouldn't expect. And I think if we do see that from Corey, you're not going to write off the guy's potential, because he can sort of tighten that side of his game up and just take a big leap forward once he can steer people where they need to be, you know.
Yeah, you can see that he has the fundamental strength to go all the way. He really does. It's all the little links in between the positions that are a little bit shaky compared to the guys he's pulling. Like that was the difference. John Strong is strong and resilient and conditioned through all of the positions, and that was what allowed John to survive. I think Corey's the stronger man yesterday, but John just was more resilient and complete, and that allowed him to eventually wear Corey's hand out. Enough. Corey will get there. It won't take 10 years. It'll take, I don't know, 2 to 4 years to develop the conditioning, maybe that will allow him to compete with the genuine best guys in the world that have been at the top for a long time. But as for power, he's got it. It's clear that he's got the power.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. So Ryan's Exposed Cables just coming with a super chat. Were Monster Factory rules the same as Arm Wars? No, they weren't. I think there's a close base there, but they weren't the same. There are certain elements within there that differed from Arm Wars, the way the matches were stopped in certain instances when it was a run rather than a straight foul. There's a nuance between the running foul and a straight foul in Arm Wars, which is very different. There were some points of commonality. The fact that they were using the square in the air, which I think is great. I mean, it just takes all the ambiguity and supposition out of things when you use the square in the air, and it adds to the drama. I actually like it better where the way we do it and did it in Arm Wars when Arm War was alive, and we obviously in the films now where we literally just show the replays. So you'll see multiple angles on that, and it shows exactly what happened. So it takes any ambiguity out of there. He's put on there, Zilla had position on Michael a few times, but the back of pad fouls helped MT wear Toddzilla out. Restarts suck. Yeah, I think there's a time when restarts are unavoidable. I think Todd was obviously at that point chasing the match pretty hard, mate. So it's difficult when you get hung up with any kind of King's move, or you've just lost the ability to apply your drive in the right position. You don't have a lot of option, and you can just in trying to apply that force, and it's not desperation, but you go to the point where you max out, and elbow fouls do occur unintentionally. I'm not saying they were intentional or unintentional. You'd have to talk to Todd about that. But I do know that I've seen many instances where guys will foul out without really intending to. They're just going flat out and shaking. Let's say, for example, yesterday when John was trying to pronate out of Corey, if that had a foul, I don't think John would have been aware of it. He was just going absolutely balls to the wall. And when that happens, you may see small infringements. If that happens and the match doesn't really change shape or grow at all, that's the kind of area we'd use a running foul. If it's a significant pop or the elbow comes off the pad outside of the perimeter of the pad and holds there for any length of time, that is obviously a straight foul, not a runner. And that's the nuance. That's the difference in some of the rules. Christian Hull, thanks for your super chat, mate. Much appreciate it. And I think we're caught up on super chat. So now, guys, obviously, we've talked Monster Factory for a little while, and we've got East versus West coming up. Now, you guys are obviously involved in that. Feel free to continue what you were doing earlier.
I think no one knows anything about it.
Great matches on that card. Great matches on that card as well.
There's only one match people should be looking up to. There's only
the opening match too. I actually am super happy that it's the freaking opening match.
Oh, we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it.
Like the event, you watch the viewership spike at that start of that event. They're gonna be like, oh, this is awesome. What's going on? That's what's going on. This match means a lot. Look, one of us is gonna lose. We know who that's going to be. It's going to be Ray. But it's going to be amazing. And the rest of the card, it'll be an amazing night to then sit back after having won, co-commentating with Ray just for the rest of the night. Can you imagine how many? Oh, I'm going to have to, for the sake of the commentary, I'm going to have to try to withhold myself from just digging into the ribs all night.
But you are going to be seeing him at Iron House like a few weeks later, where it'll just be relentless, you know. Of course, obviously, you'll be pulling Bogdan Stoica there.
I'll give you a rematch on Iron House if you want.
Let's go.
I'll give you a rematch there. Easy.
Look. If the conditions play out, well, why the hell not? Look, if the conditions play out, if you need me to be softened up by Bogdan, you stay fresh, Ray. You stay super fresh, all right?
Tom Holland, mate. He's pulling Tom Holland.
Oh, you got Tom Holland. Shit,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, man.
So yeah, Tom Holland and Rowley. So we got Tom Holland and Rowley.
Hey, I can.
I just want to say,
I don't
Ray,
mean this shit.
when we're at the hotel, whether it's at the Armor Zion house or whether it's at in Istanbul, just tell me what time you want to wake up and I will be there. Okay, I will be at your door yelling the get up speech for you. I'll do it. I'd like to give you that personal service.
That would be so awesome.
I will. Just tell me the time you need to wake up.
Yeah.
So has this taken your, because I know you said beforehand, right, Ryan, that you were super focused on kicking the shit out of
terrible. I'm not impressed. I'll be honest. I'm not impressed. You did your 1 rep max and you failed it like 3 times. You came in like, you're like, I'm gonna be in my best shape ever. And then you came like 5 kilos short. I'm like, this guy, I have to pull this guy.
I missed him on our own.
You're running, you look terrible.
What was your question, Neil? I missed it. Ray's distracted.
I was just going to say, looking at the level of focus you had before on Bogdan Stoica, has it been? Is this match with Raid sort of diminished your focus there?
Oh, look, no, diminished the focus is not the right word for it. I mean, I've got to give respect to all my opponents and focus on them. I haven't stopped thinking about how I'm going to take on Bogdan. I really do see a lot of important factors there that I need to be well and truly aware of. But Ray is kind of my warm up to that. If I'm honest, he is my warm up to it. It's not. I don't need to put the same degree of thought into it. Although I respect Ray, but he's my warm up to Bogdan. Here he is. What's really going on?
It's like
I don't know. I'm not trying to.
Bogdan is gonna kill you. It's like ridiculous. Bogdan's so explosive. He's so fast. He's like ridiculous. I'm not that fast. I'm not that explosive. But
I know.
Corey's like, what the fuck I walked in on?
Corey's so humble. He's so nice. He's so respectful. He walks into the room.
Corey, let's just ask you one question. Me and Ryan Bowen, we're arm wrestling. Who you are rooting for?
No, who wins? Not who you're rooting for.
Hey,
who wins?
Corey, don't be a bitch, okay?
If both of y'all weren't here, it wouldn't be so awkward. I mean, geez, put me on the spot. Why don't you?
Hey, Corey, just turn your camera, mate. Turn your phone on one side so we get you in all your glory, mate.
It's impossible.
There you go.
He's too big.
There you go. Screen right there.
I see that. I see you. Hey, we need to get Corey West his beard sponsorship. Let's get some nice balms, some nice things for it. So
look at how much you butter up the guests just to get him to say that they think they're going to win. It's ridiculous.
Oh no, that was just like that. He's like, Corey thinks you're terrible.
I could offend Corey so deeply and he'd still say I'm going to win.
Try it. Hey,
we can do a softener. We can do a softener for Corey. You can get a. So here we go. Lachlan Adair, Sandra Sherris. Who wins?
I don't know the answer to that. Man, I haven't watched Sanders enough to know where he'd be.
Super versatile, but does he have
which is he the one that Marcio beat?
No.
Which I'm bad with names. Which one? Who did he just pull?
Sanders beat
Chance. He pulled Chance in East.
Oh, but it was pretty close. Yeah, that'd be a
3-0. It wasn't pretty close.
Well, it was closer than people expected it to be. I remember Chance pulling him in a hook and people being all surprised that Chance was even able to be in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good match. probably just depend on if Lachlan can keep his pronator intact. I mean, Lachlan looks really strong whenever he's got his hand not rotated.
Yeah, a lot of power. No doubt about that. A lot of power. Anyway, enough of this Latvia versus Australia rivalry that's kicking off here. It's going to intensify week after week. Let's talk about you, mate. Let's talk about you. We got 10 minutes of unadulterated what the was last night about. You got to be buzzing because that was. Were you nervous, mate, going into that, or were you hungry?
I felt fine. I mean, the only thing I was really nervous about was I knew my shoulder felt fine in day-to-day use. Yep. It was still kind of affecting my sleep. So I didn't know whenever I just really loaded up and tried to go sideways, if it was going to come with me, if it was going to come apart, if it was going to be, too much pain to push through. But it felt fine. It felt a little stiff afterwards, but that was really my only concern. I didn't take the John match thinking that I was going to get to kill John or, that I was a huge favorite or that I could prove something. It was just such an opportunity that I couldn't say no. Like, it was just one of those things.
And so that first, obviously I was saying, I don't know whether you caught any of the show, but I was saying before you came on, mate, that in that first opening round, you looked like you were a little tentative. You had that sort of aura or respect thing going on. With hindsight, from what you've said there, was that a lot down to, it was like a rangefinder for how your shoulder was feeling? Did you sort of go in a little tentative to sort of, where's this thing at? And then rev hard the second round?
No, man, I tell you, I haven't had to pull a lot of guys in a while that were anywhere close to John's strength inside. Mm-hmm. And, I've had that whole, trying to keep rotating and getting my shoulders turned more and making the angle more towards, the very corner of the table. It's like some of that just went out the window in the first match. As soon as I kind of hit a wall, it was like I just kept going sideways and I wasn't trying to change the angle as much as I needed to. It was like I just wasn't thinking clearly just because I haven't been in that situation in a fair while.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. You got to be. You cannot have come off that. I know you're obviously going to be a little disappointed because the result didn't go your way, but off the last couple of outings that you've had, both ended in losses, but your stock rose significantly off the back of those, mate. I really believe that.
Yeah, I joke. I was joking, but at the same time, I wasn't. I literally turned to Michael and Julie after I got a pin, and I was like, it doesn't even matter from here. Like, it's like, I can always say I got a pin on John, and it's just one of those things that it was just fun. It was really weird. It didn't carry a lot of pressure. It just felt like fun. It was me and John, we all kind of hung out, but most of the time it seemed like me and John kind of gravitated towards conversation the couple days leading up. Mm-hmm. He's a super nice guy. We have some similar interests and hobbies and things. So we just carried on normal conversation. It was like, not to say that we're buddies or best friends, but it was very almost like pulling Michael by the time that, we started competing. It was a lot of laughing and smiling and, it was fun. It was probably it's probably the funnest match I've ever had.
So after the match, were you guys, I mean, sometimes matches can go down and people are going to get on like a house on fire. These two mother fluffers are going to have to commentate like a 50-hour show straight after the back of their match because Engin's put on about 245 matches back to back. But were you sort of chatting and laughing straight off the bat with John afterwards? Was he quite upbeat or was he?
Oh, yeah. We were the last ones to leave. I think it was just me and John and Michael and Rebecca and John's wife and Julie till the AM, probably in the AM hour, just sitting around talking. Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, I don't know that the camera caught it, but he literally, like right before we shook hands or so, it was like seconds after the match, whenever he kind of did like the deep sigh, he was like, I'm never pulling you again. And we just laughed. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It's been nice to get the compliments you got off him after the match because he was so complimentary of your hand and wrist, which, a lot of people have said you were very hard to top roll. That people have even said that Ray couldn't do it, which, I find hard to believe, but it has been said, But to get that kind of compliment from John? How did that feel?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's been a handful of times I don't know what I did to gain it, but for some reason, John has believed in me or said, tons of nice things, and we don't really communicate that much. But he's had nothing but nice things to say. It's been nice. I mean, it's always great to hear something like that from somebody as prestigious as John.
So what's the next stop, mate? Where's the next stop for you?
I think I'm gonna go full next weekend in Texas.
Is that just gonna be an open event, or have you got
Travis hit me up about it whenever I pulled Ryan Espy in Texas. I need to get a hold of him to see if it's really worth, the trouble or what all the logistics are. It's a qualifier for something to do with Netflix. So
what the hell is that?
I don't know all the details. He sent me the flyer earlier, but there's like 2 or 3, maybe 4 qualifiers. I don't know any details beyond that, but there's somehow involved with Netflix on the deal. But my elbow feels good. My wrist, hand feel fine. Unless something starts nagging in the next couple of days, I'll just do some blood flow work over the next few days in ice. And this will be the first time I've ever pulled 3 events in 3 weeks. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, just make sure you don't scrap yourself again, mate. You don't want to set yourself back. You've had one pretty solid injury. That's enough. Yeah. Joking aside, do you see who your sights set on? Who's in the crosshairs? Is it someone like Chafee, who a lot of people have talked about that match? Would you like to get it?
Yes and no. I think Jerry, if Jerry, depending on how Jerry does with Gennady, I like the thought of getting to pull Jerry. I feel like I need to go back and probably venture the Todd Hutchins thing at some point.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. See where you go there.
Yeah. I mean, I would pull Dave. I wouldn't turn the match down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Dave is the guy I was pulling whenever my left bicep tore off. And I'm gonna try to meet him in the center of the table whenever we go right-handed, horsepower versus horsepower. So I wouldn't say no, but I would like to be maybe just a tier better than I am currently before I had to take the match. But I I'm not seeking it out.
Unbelievable stuff. Corey, I want to say thanks for dropping on for the last 10 minutes, mate. It's been great to catch up with you and hear your perspectives on the match. Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gents, we're going to jump off here in a moment. I want to say a massive thanks to everybody for tuning in, checking us out tonight. We've got about 600 people in the chat throughout. Remember, a lot of things going down in the sport of arm wrestling at the moment, guys. And if you want to keep in touch with that, armwrestlingforums.com is a great place to start. Get yourself signed up at armwrestlingforums.com and you will get a newsletter every week, which will keep you on the pulse of the sport as it really starts to get into high gear. So many things coming up. We got Corey's next matches. Something going on with Netflix. They'll probably find out about that soon. We've obviously got East versus West, where you'll see these 2 monkeys.
I will save the world. I will save the world. Everyone.
Hey, you got Corey.
Everyone. I will not let you down. I have 1 billion people behind me on this one. I haven't heard like someone saying like, well, I hope Ryan wins you. No, opposite. Everyone on Australia is sending me notes, coaching me. They said they will deliberately make Ryan like suffer in training. So he's like terrible when he comes up. And so these are just facts. Neil Pickup gave me like a personal lesson. I paid a lot of money for it, but it was worth it.
My wrist
broke his wrist in meantime, but still was awesome. Yeah. Corey loves me. Shut up. Okay. So stay strong and love arm wrestling.
Hey, if one of y'all doesn't go straight savage after all the trash talk and make the other one quit, I hate you both.
Mate, full on committing.
Yeah. Primal.
I mean, people are saying we got to put YouTube pink slips on the line and all sorts of stuff. We're on the race. So you never know.
Don, it is so what? Knapsack has come in, right, with a last-minute super chat. Knapsack, thanks, mates. But evening, Neil. How about Lachlan Adair versus Aymeric Hansen-Pradines? I think the Panzer will be too much for Lachlan. I'll tell you, left-handed, Americ's got a great, and to be fair, Lachlan's looked rock strong. I love that match. Left-handed could be a cracker.
Hey, that's another thing you asked about the next match. Really, the next thing I'm actually focused on is I think me and Cody are kind of getting the details worked out.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it would be awesome if he got the win on Morozov, who they just changed to #1 in the world. I mean, that would make it a lot more interesting.
What I saw on Armbits was Morozov was like, it's a shout out stake. Like Cody Merritt is like a huge underdog. Like he just needs to win one, which I was like, this is just as ridiculous as me and Ryan. It's like stupid, ridiculous.
The only thing I worry about with Cody is that, you know, his arm, that the only thing I worry about with Cody is, you know, he's had some injuries and stuff, and he has had some pain with his hardware in his arm and stuff. I really feel like if Cody comes in super healthy with no issues, that's going to be that shutout stakes thing's going to be a joke.
Yeah, and regardless of how that goes down with Corey, is that someone you'd like to tangle with going forward? If you couldn't pull Corey, what about Morozov? Would you like a crack at Morozov either hand?
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to get a chance to go to East versus West. What is it going to be, 5 in November?
Yeah.
Me and Ingen had spoke. I was hoping to pull a Reef right-handed, and if Cody beat Morozov, I was hoping to pull Morozov left-handed. But since then, the business that I manage, the owner usually fills in whenever I'm out, and he's having a baby at the end of November. I talked to Ingen about seeing if it was going to be at the beginning of November, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty conflicting on me not being able to get away during the end of November. So unfortunate.
You just keep doing what you're doing, Corey, because I think you'll be getting offers coming thick and fast, certainly for a period of time, because right now you're in a situation where you're very matchable. You know, there's guys out there that you will still be doubted in some respects, but you're right there in the mix. I think there's a lot of exciting matches for you, but I actually would love to see you pull Todd again. Yeah, that
maybe one day you can pull Ryan Bowen, you know, if you're worthy enough. So it takes time. I've been deemed worthy, so I will have the chance to pull the greatest of all universes.
We're way out from this match, and they're already going at it, Corey. This is the kind we didn't see this with you and Alex. There was
right.
Yeah, look at these two. I mean, you know, these two.
You gotta watch those little guys. They always got a lot more to say than us big guys.
It's just going to be.
Hey, Ryan's like, who you calling a small guy? He's like, have you seen me? Like when I walk.
I know you're used to it. I know you're used to being
called
small. I'm not used to it. It's true. I'm not used to being called small. But against Corey, yeah, I'm definitely. I know you're used to everyone calling you small, Ray. It's okay. We get it.
No. Oh no.
Is that going to put pressure into this match, the size thing? If Ryan comes out losing, he gets additional pressure because he lost to that little dude from Latvia.
Oh, Neil, I'm the favorite. All the pressure's on me. I'm the absolute favorite. Look, Rolly Ray can swing for the fences. He loses nothing in this match by getting smacked 3-0. If he gets one round, people are going to say, oh, Ryan, you suck.
Yeah,
Ryan, I'm the overwhelming favorite by a freaking mile in this one. Engin was like, Ryan, are you sure you should have this match? You're so much better than Ray. It'll be silly.
I
said, don't worry, Engin. It'll be awesome because the internet will love the build up. It'll be great. But yeah.
I want to thank Ryan for giving me an opportunity to pretty much destroy his career. So I think that's awesome. He's an awesome guy just to give me that. So why not?
I'm all in on this one. This one, I'm all in. There'll be so much delusional Ryan Bowen content if I lose this match. I'm all in. Bring it. I'm all in. All in.
Oh my God.
Crush Ray.
Hey, speaking of little guys, did y'all watch the preliminary match with Dustin Hyatt? Did y'all see him?
Man, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Dude,
Dustin Hyatt.
That kid, hey, I'm telling you, that kid under 200 pounds is going to be he's going to be one of the true world level guys that comes out of the US.
He was featured in the Savage Search for Arm Wars. Submitted a video for a Savage Search. We've been doing some stuff on that. That his video was the first one. I think it was actually the second one I watched that came through, and it was immediately I just thought, oh, I love him. It's fantastic.
I'm literally begging Michael to throw him to the wolves on the next card against like a Sam Harris or Corey Miller or just to see
where he's
if
at.
There's. Oh, I mean, I feel like even if he's not in it, it doesn't even matter. But if he is, I mean, the kid's 22, just ridiculous.
Oh, God, he's got a big future. There's no doubt about that. Pulls really well, super versatile. He's in for the long haul. What a great dude.
Yeah, and you're gonna see something different because he was good prior. But a lot of people, I didn't even realize until I talked to Craig. He's pulling with Craig now. I mean, what's that gonna do for him?
Well, 2-year yesterday looked awesome, absolutely otherworldly. I mean, because Roger's no bum.
Yeah, I knew the speed thing was going to be Roger if he can get something stopped and contained and put some stress on his joints and his frame. He's great at finding those sticky positions, but Craig is the last guy that lets you get to those if you're not fast.
Yeah, really, and that savage second hit he has. The second hit is venomous. You put the brakes on, and then he hits just as savagely straight off the bat. Bang, you slow it down, bang, there's another one. So he's really unsettling in that respect, and he's had a lot of stuff going on with his elbow. So it was really nice to see him come through that, and I was pleased for him. I did feel a bit bad for Roger. I think Roger is a really, really entertaining dude. And it was a shame that we didn't see Roger get into his groove and make that a better match. He'll have been really pissed with that. So, yeah, Roger, keep your head up, mate. Just lost one match to a very dangerous opponent. You'll be back, brother. You will be back, guys. We're gonna wrap it up about there. I want to say a massive thanks to everybody for taking the time to tune and check us out. Congratulations on an outstanding performance yesterday, Corey West, mate. You continue to impress everyone, and your stock's on the rise. You're looking rock strong, mate. Very, very good. Very good.
Thank you.
You're gonna get there.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
One of these days.
100% certainty in that.
Remember, guys, if are you on YouTube yourself, Corey? You got?
I think we started one yesterday.
Okay, get yourself over to.
Yeah, but it's gonna be far less like y'all's are all like heavy arm wrestling based. Like ours will definitely be some arm wrestling. But we do so much other like fun, stupid stuff like
breaking locks with your bare hands and shit.
No, just even beside like we just left my buddy's house that's got he's got one of those little bitty tiny smart cars that's a convertible, and we're just doing dumb stuff. Yeah, just ignorant stuff.
Nice. Sounds like a channel. I'll be subbing. Get yourself over there, guys. Also get yourself over to Pound for Pound Arm Wrestling and sub to the mighty Ryan Bowen. Remember, there's also a lot of kit you can get on there. Handles, equipment, 15% off with the code Supernatural. If you're not subscribed to the Voice of Arm Wrestling, that's the home of Rolly Ray, Coach Ray Lipins. Get over there, subscribe to the Voice, ladies and gents. And the build-up will continue between our two guys here on the Fix.
Oh, it's on.
Are y'all betting on this? Like between y'all? Y'all should just bet some extra money.
Oh yes, we're lining up the quickest rematch in
we need to work something out. Something out in maybe in the YouTube channel stakes. Like I don't know. I'll wear a Voice of Arm Wrestling bright green T-shirt and do a promo for you at the beginning of every one of my videos for a month or something. If you can beat me, I don't know.
Let's do something like easier. Every time one of us comes out with new video, we promote it on like if you come out, you win. You come out with your new video.
It'll be slightly embarrassing. That seems too reasonable.
My community page, and we'll share it there. Which check out the greatest arm wrestling content on the planet.
I think one of y'all should. I think y'all should do the. I think y'all should do the thing that kind of like Michael and Devin did. Y'all should create a shirt for one another that has to be worn for like a month straight on every piece of content.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
Around the Iron House.
I already wear pound for pound arm wrestling shirt when I train.
No, but it's gotta be some big obnoxious one with my head on it.
Yeah, like something embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we've got the F Bowen, it could be like Bowen F me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or I'm Ray's biggest pussy.
Yes. There you go. There's two t-shirts.
Neil, you have to make those t-shirts.
Mine's got to be make it the most obnoxious bright blue possible for me for that one for Ray.
Make it XXL because I'm massive, baby.
Yes, please make it a triple XL so it just highlights how small Ray is and
Looks
with
like
my
a
head on it.
Summer dress.
Whoa. Ray, 3X is small. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. Hey, Cody saw me in person. He knows how massive I am.
Ladies and gents, thank you so much for taking the time, tuning in. This has been The Fix 113. We will see you again, guys. Take it easy. All the best to you and your families, and all the best to Uncle John's dog, Biggity Bong. And I think we're off.
What was that?